Hey guys, it's Maggie and I am back today. If you missed my recent upload that was titled something like, we were gonna do IVF, but ... then today's title is a bit of a spoiler because I am indeed pregnant. That feels totally weird to say still. It's just like shocking to me that I am sitting here 11 weeks, 2 days pregnant. Today, when this is uploading, that's how far along I am with the due date of May. We had every expectation of doing IVF. That's what that whole long video was about, because I really wanted to show the roller coaster ride that it was. I mean, we had the prescription sent to the pharmacy. I just needed to pay for it and have it shipped to our house. And it was a lot of prescriptions because we were going to do an egg retrieval, which involves a lot of injections, a lot of hormonal manipulation, and then we were going to do ICSI, which is when they, I guess, inject the sperm into the egg once they've taken it out, and then a frozen embryo transfer. Like, we were in it, and then at the end of August, had the weirdest feeling. I don't know what made me take the original pregnancy test. You'll see it if you watch the other video. The first clip where I took a test, I don't know what told me to take one, but something did, and I did. And out of the 3 tests that I took that day, 1 was positive, and I still don't know if that was legitimate or just like a fluke to warn me that something was coming. I don't know, but here I am. It wound up being true. It wound up being that I was pregnant, so I wanted to make this video today to tie up some loose ends, just fill you in on where I am, and maybe answer some questions that I got in the comments of that video. Like I said, that was a long one, so I know it was tough for some people to watch the whole thing. I don't blame you if you skip to the end, because I tried not to let on what was gonna happen too much, but yeah. And some of you guys, you already caught on, because I was not leaving necessarily intentional hints of what was happening, but I definitely said some things, did some things that people could wonder about, and I'll talk about those. I do want to say that I am going to share a backlog of videos, just, you know, little vlogs that I took throughout the weeks to share what I was feeling and what was going on. So I'm going to create a playlist that I will put in all of the descriptions that have anything to do with this pregnancy, so that way, as they're uploaded, you can see the order of them. I know I'm coming to you sort of in the future. We'll go back and then I'll bring you up to speed as fast as I can over the next few weeks. I'm also gonna try and update as best as I can on Instagram more in real time now that I've told you guys what's going on. It really does depend on how I'm feeling, and that kind of has to do with why I disappeared off of YouTube, really off of line totally for a month, because I just, you know, I was kind of planning on, you know, the possibility of pregnancy not happening till winter or like late fall, and the fall is so busy, and I did get sick. I did actually get sick. I told, you know, some people online, I said it on Instagram that I was sick this fall. It was true. I had a sinus infection. I was on antibiotics, but you may know that you're limited in your antibiotic choices, so it didn't really work all that well. I'm pretty sure I still have some sinus issues going on, but 95% of me being sick was morning sickness, which is not morning sickness at all. It's okay. I'm most nauseated when I first wake up, and I eat. That seems to be the thing that helps the most. And then mid-morning to early afternoon, I'm pretty okay. But by nighttime, I am hoping that this will start to settle out a little bit, because I am heading towards the end of the first trimester. We'll see. I'm hoping I'm not one of those people who's just sick forever. But definitely it's kicked me in the butt, and it made it very difficult to come online. And some of you guessed at that when I was like very non-descriptive about why I was sick. A few other things. I know in my GI update video I mentioned that I had gained some weight and that I would talk more about that soon. Yes, I've gained 4 pounds in the first trimester because eating is what helps me the most with this nausea. I have tried all the things. Like, I have some experience with nausea just with Crohn's, but you know, the bands that you put on your wrist, that really didn't help too much. All the ginger things, obviously eating different kinds of foods, it really is like, I can only eat the foods that sound good. And the more I even think about nausea, the more I feel it. So I just try to distract myself all day. And then prescription medication. So I did confirm with my GI and my fertility doctor when I was seeing them, and now my OB, they're all aware. So I'm actually finding that Zofran might be more helpful to me than promethazine, which I did not expect. Promethazine does not seem to be doing a whole lot. So I may actually contact my doctor if this is going to continue for a little bit, and see if I can get more Zofran. I have exactly 1 pill left. So I might do that. One of the other things that I don't know if anybody would have picked up on, but and I was planning to do it anyway, it was just finding out that I was pregnant gave me the push. Painting our guest bedroom. I knew that I wanted to do that, whether it was going to be a guest bedroom or a future room for a baby. And when I found out I was pregnant, I was like, let's go, because I bet you're gonna start feeling sick soon. As long as everything goes well, let's paint it now. So that's actually the reason I painted that room. It's nice, like, God forbid anything happens, the room's painted, it's nice and done, we put curtains up and stuff, we have a new fan light fixture, so I feel good about that. Also with the GI video that I posted, obviously everything that I shared was truthful. I just didn't share the totally full reason of why I decided to continue not taking 𝙗𝙪𝙨. So my whole plan was, I had a GI appointment in September. I knew it was coming all summer. Like, I've had it scheduled since my last one in March. And, you know, I knew I was off the 𝙗𝙗𝙯. I wanted to discuss it further with my doctor and kind of see what he wanted me to do. Should I go back on it, or should I keep going and see, you know, kind of how I do? But then, obviously, you find out you're pregnant. I didn't want to start medication. I didn't want to change things up. So, yeah, I talked to him about that, and he's excited for me. That's the other really great thing with my GI doctor. He has been super supportive. He was very supportive during the ectopic. Him and his whole office were. They were very kind to me because, you know, if you saw that vlog, we went to my GI before I got the methotrexate injections, and he was very nice about it, and he was very excited to hear that I was pregnant. So, you know, he said he's offering any support that I may need throughout it, and that was really great to hear. So this is just, it's been a totally wild ride. It's been, gosh, I don't even know really how to explain it. I just feel like it's been an emotional, like, circle of life sort of situation for me, and I feel like that sounds weird. You know, I have this ring that I have shown you guys that I got for the ectopic pregnancy. That was my first pregnancy, and I did not expect for things to go that way and for me to lose a fallopian tube and almost die from it. But I got this ring with the November birth shown because the due date would have been November 14th. If things had gone well, it's kind of wild that I would be at the end of pregnancy right now, like a month away from a baby. That was such a, I mean, that really just kind of devastated me. It was so unexpected, so shocking, but in this positive way that I'm looking at it now and what it feels like to me, it feels like this current pregnancy would not be happening if I didn't go through all of that. I know that people have said, you know, oh, it's just, you know, the minute you stop thinking about it or you stop trying and you relax, it happens. That's not a great thing to say to somebody who's trying to have a baby. It doesn't feel good to hear. But I don't believe that to be true at all. You know, we tried for 4 years and nothing was happening. 3.5 before I did the IUI. Nothing was happening, and I think when you post about it online like this, I sit down and I make a video, I think people take that as that's all she's focusing on. Like, clearly that's taking up all of her brain, and that's just not in reality how it is. Even though I sit down and talk, you know, I make a whole video about it. Life is crazy. There's so many different things going on, and it's not, I was not constantly thinking about it. I was not stressed about it. Yes, it did disappoint me that nothing was happening on its own, but I wasn't thinking about it all the time. And just, if you're gonna say relax to somebody, at least give them the instructions on how to do so, because who can just relax? I just find that funny. Anyways, I feel as though the ectopic pregnancy, whether it was that or the Clomid that I was put on for that to happen, something in that whole situation taught my body what to do. And I've very briefly said this, but my cycles became different after the ectopic, and in a few different ways. I mentioned the one where I ovulate way sooner. Well, my body's, you know, doing what it's doing right now, but when I was having cycles before all that, I was ovulating at the earliest 19 days past ovulation. Really, it would wind up being later, like 21, 22, and then I would start my period on day 28, 29. After I had the ectopic and my periods sort of regulated out, they were irregular at first, just the span of days that they lasted. But once they started to regulate, it wound up being that I ovulated day 15, day 14, which is much more what you hear on average. And that was kind of weird to me. Also, my periods got a lot more lighter. I wasn't having this fear of bleeding through my pants, which I had had before. Like, that's kind of what I experienced all the time. Yeah, they got a lot lighter and just so much more manageable, and they weren't quite as long. Like, my periods would last around 8 days on and off. It's sort of weird, just because I don't have that rectal support of the vagina anymore. Fluid collects, so it's kind of like all or nothing. Either a lot's coming out or nothing. So when I say 8 days, there could be 2 days where I don't bleed at all, and then all of a sudden a whole bunch more comes out. But it changed. It wasn't like that anymore. It was more like 5 days, and then I was done. So I just think that it really taught my body what to do, and that kind of gives me a lot of peace about the situation, because I did not want to, I mean, I didn't care about the fallopian tube. I always kind of figured that side of my body's screwed up, you know, there's scar tissue, there's a whole lot going on. I don't care if I lose that fallopian tube. It was more of them taking out the pregnancy just suddenly. Like, it felt like they were ripping it away from me. I know that they were saving my life, and it had to be done. It just felt so sudden, and I wanted things to pass on their own and me to reabsorb the tissue and it be part of me. And I know so many of you mentioned that the baby's blood mixes with your own, and that already happened, but I just wanted to reabsorb the tissue on my own and just not go through that, obviously. Now it feels like that little baby, that little ectopic pregnancy that I had a purpose, and now this little baby is here because of that one. So that's how I'm feeling about it. So yes, and I don't know if any of you will remember, I believe that I mentioned it over a year ago. This is back when we went on the road trip to the UOAA conference in Houston. You know, my best friend lives out in Texas, so we were able to see her. And something that's passed down in her family is this little pendant here of St. Gerard. And I believe it came from her grandmother, her mom's mom, who would pray over it every day. And then it was kind of passed down through the family for anybody who was trying to have a baby and maybe struggling. And so when we were at that conference and I saw my best friend, she was pregnant at the time, so she was wearing it, but she had gotten me kind of a pendant, like, in place of it, just a placekeeper that I could wear until she had given birth and she could give me this. So I am borrowing it for the time being. They gave it to me this past weekend. Her mom did, and kind of explained the whole story of it, so I have that on. I just thought it was very sweet that they, you know, I'm not their family, but I've known her my whole life basically, and you know, she's my best friend. She's the one that named Leroy, for anybody who's questioning that. She is the one that pulled me into the high school bathroom the day that I came back after ostomy surgery, and she was like, I have to see this. I have to see what it looks like. And I was wearing a clear bag because that's what I was sent home on, and she declared that we had to name it right then and there. So she picked Leroy. The name has stuck. Yeah, so what a whirlwind it's been. The other nice thing that I think both Zach and I are happy about, over the summer we had our fertility appointment. We decided IVF is the way to go because that's what our doctor suggested. He said that's the safest way. I'm so afraid you're gonna have another ectopic because we just don't know how your surgery really affected you. And the only thing that Zach and I mean, I didn't want to go through the whole process. I really didn't. I did not want to have to inject myself so many times. Egg retrieval, you are at risk for, what is it, ovarian hyperstimulation syndrome? Something like that. And you have to be asleep for it. There's a lot that can happen, and it's so medical. It's so medical, and it's not the way that we want it. I don't think it's the way anybody wants, to be fair. It just felt like it was taking the surprise and the joy out of it. And so when I found out one day, you know, just took a test and it was positive on our own, that really, it feels like it gave us that surprise back and that joy of like, oh my gosh, the excitement of, we didn't know this was gonna happen. So that was really cool. That was really cool. I'm trying to think of what else I want to share with you. I know that I am still early. There's a lot of different opinions out there on when to share that you're pregnant. You know, some people are very adamant you have to do it after 12 weeks, you have to wait for the second trimester, because what they say is your miscarriage rate falls after that. But then there are some people that, you know, the moment they have a positive test, they share with everybody. And I was sort of in between. I really wanted to, make sure that the baby was in the right spot. That was priority number one. And I will be sharing videos from that, the first ultrasound and all that. I was so excited when I found out. And then I also wanted to make sure that the baby was growing. And I have had 5 ultrasounds at this point. 3 were with my fertility clinic, and then I graduated. 1 was with the OB that was like 2 seconds long. It basically was just confirming where the baby was and confirming there was a heartbeat. So I had that one. And then this past weekend, I knew that we were going to be telling Zach's family, and I knew that I would be hopefully telling you guys as long as everything was okay. And I started to get so nervous, and I just wanted reassurance that things were still happening. And so I got an elective ultrasound, and things were still happening. So that was really cool because I got a whole video of the ultrasound, and you could just see the baby bouncing off the gestational sac wall and moving its arms and legs. It was like, oh, it looks like a baby. Like, our minds were blown, and that was the coolest experience. And I will 100% be going back there because all the other ultrasounds, like the fertility clinic was fantastic, and they really spent the time to show me all the different parts and everything going on. The OB, however, was so fast, and I do have another ultrasound scheduled already this week actually, but I don't know what to expect from that, so I'm really glad that I found this elective place. It felt like there was some bonding, you know, just time for us to really see the baby move around and also just get the videos and the pictures and stuff. It was really cool. But yeah, for me, I wanted to know that the baby was growing too, and I know that things can still happen, and it's really unfortunate when they do, and I pray that they don't, but I don't know what the future holds. I really don't. And I just know that I want to enjoy this while it's happening now, even though I'm super sick to my stomach. I want to enjoy it now and just celebrate this little tiny baby growing in me, because how freaking cool is it? I'm still in disbelief. I think I will be until the day I'm like holding the baby. I just, you know, it's when you spend your whole life with Crohn's, you feel like nothing your body does is right. You want your body to behave a certain way. You want it to work like everybody else's around you, and it just doesn't do that. And it feels like over and over again it fails you. And out of nowhere, it didn't fail me. It feels like for the first time. And I just can't believe it. Like my body just did something that it was designed to do, and I've never had that experience. So, you know, I get that. I'm so fortunate with my disease and the way that it's turned out. I know some may look at my scarred up body and say, what are you talking about? I feel very fortunate that, you know, in terms of symptoms, I don't feel like I deal with Crohn's a whole lot day to day. But it's still, you know, there in the back of my mind, and I recognize that clearly I don't function like other people. So this, oh gosh, it's just really cool. I just feel really lucky. So, yeah. Anyways, because I don't want to cry. I'm gonna be putting together my videos. I tried to do weekly updates, and I kind of fell off this week because I started to feel really, really sick. I feel like this should be going away soon though, so hopefully we're good. But I vlogged a lot of it because I just, you know, I want to have the memory of it. So I will be trying to edit those and put those together for you guys. Dixie just came downstairs. I think the only dog that maybe knows something's happening is Holly, which is weird because Holly is our most, I don't know if I want to say standoffish, but she is our most like reserved. She's not gonna wag her tail a whole lot, and she has been by my side, love bug, like always by me, and she's not usually like this, so I can't tell if she just knows something's up or what. The other three, clueless. Our dogs have been around kids, and the girls like don't really recognize children. They don't seem to care. Bruno, however, loves kids. He loves little people, little creatures. He loves them. So I'm kind of surprised it's not Bruno that's all over me, but whatever. Anyways, I'll try to get those vlogs together and get them going online so I can share that with you and hopefully get you more up to speed. But as of today, 11 weeks, 2 days, May 9th is the due date. I'm not showing, but I'm definitely bloated, so there's I made an Instagram post where I'm wearing that black magenta mixed like floral dress, and that whole night I was so bloated, and I was sure that somebody was gonna like comment on it, and actually everybody has commented on my weight before they knew. They were like, you look glowing, you look like you are a healthy weight, and I'm like, there's a reason for that. But in that photo in particular, I had a scarf around my arms and a purse, and I was trying to hide my stomach the whole night because I was so bloated. Yeah, that's really, I mean, and I also noticed like where my uterus is. It's definitely harder, and it's puffed out a little bit, but I don't have a belly. I will say my jeans and stuff do not fit. They were like on the edge of not fitting anyway, but now they really don't fit, so I'm using a ponytail holder to like button them closed and wearing long shirts to hide that, so it's kind of funny. Anyways, just wanted to catch you up, kind of fill in the gaps, and share where I am today. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your support on that video, and just the overwhelming amount of kind comments. I was shocked, and I was crying the night that I uploaded it, reading everybody's comment, and I got overwhelmed super quick. I was trying to like heart all the comments or respond. It just, I would refresh and like a bunch more would appear. So, and I was also really super sick to my stomach that night. So anyways, thank you for your support, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye guys. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you are looking for a way to help support my channel, consider liking this video or even subscribing. You can also check out my store at LetsTalkIBD.shop. I have stickers and hoodies like these guys over here, just related to chronic illness and inflammatory bowel disease, something fun. And I also have a coupon code for my YouTube watchers. You could also become a member of my channel, like the wonderful people scrolling on screen here. They've become a member and they have access to videos a little bit earlier. It's a great way to support my channel, and really, just watching my videos means the world. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next.